If you needed any more proof that the tariff chaos that Donald Trump has created isn't about us getting ripped off, it's not about that. It's about changing the world order. It's about changing how oppressed groups get treated. That's certainly an element of it. Maybe not fully it, but this story here should dispel any misgivings you have or incorrect ideas you have about Donald Trump just looking out for the economic standing of the United States of America relative to trade imbalances. It's not that. Because this story highlights that he is now blackmailing the United Kingdom over hate speech laws. He's not going to negotiate our tariffs to better our economic standing because the EU has hate speech laws he doesn't like. And he would much prefer a trading partner that allows people to traffic in hate speech. That's the story. That's what's happening right now with the relationship between one of our oldest allies and us. Here's the headline from The Independent. Starmer, who is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, told UK must repeal hate speech laws to protect LGBTQ plus people or lose Trump trade deal. Good chance, quote unquote, of agreement, says J.D. Vance, but a source close to the administration says his concerns over Britain's hate speech laws are still a red line. That's their red line. That's their line in the sand. We won't go any further unless you allow people to be hateful to one another. That's their red line. Hate speech. Allowing hate speech is their priority here in a trade negotiation. Keir Starmer must embrace Donald Trump's agenda by repealing hate speech laws in order to get a trade deal over the line, a Washington source has told The Independent. The warning came after the U.S. Vice President suggested a UK-U.S. agreement may be close, with the White House working very hard on it. He told Unheard, I think there's a good chance that, yes, we'll come to a great agreement that's in the best interest of both countries. But a senior Washington figure who has provided advice for the administration claimed he is, quote, obsessed with the fall of Western civilization, unquote, including his view that free speech is being eroded in Britain and that he will demand the Labour government rolls back laws against hateful comments, including abuse targeting LGBTQ plus groups or other minorities as a condition of any deal. The Independent was told the vice president expressing optimism on a trade deal is kind of putting further pressure on the UK over free speech. If a deal does not go through, it makes Labour look bad. Mr. Vance's recent speech to the right-wing Heritage Foundation, the radical right-wing Heritage Foundation think tank, was cited as an example of his views on Western culture and free speech being linked to securing an agreement. No free speech, no deal. It's as simple as that, the Washington source said. It is understood that Britain has already offered to drop its proposed digital services tax as a means of getting a trade deal through, but the U.S. wants to see laws on hate speech repealed. One more time, but the U.S. wants to see laws on hate speech repealed, as well as plans for a new online safety law dropped in order to come to the table to negotiate on trade. Final sentence, two sentences here, this paragraph. Labor has made it clear, that's the party there, the Labour Party has made it clear that it is not prepared to go that far. A Downing Street source, Downing Street is where the Prime Minister's residence is, so it's like saying the White House source. A Downing Street source said the subject is not a feature of the talks. Well, I would hope not. I would hope not. That you're not going to sully yourselves and your commitment to human rights, although your Supreme Court just did a doozy for trans people there. But I would hope that the Labour government would resist this kind of encroachment, this kind of us playing a role in your domestic policies that don't involve trade. I would tell Donald Trump and JD Vance to fucking pound sand. That's what I would do. If anybody in Downing Street is watching this video, comment below. Anyway, what do you think? You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I do want to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work for $1.99 a month. You can help me produce these videos. You can click the join button below, become a channel member, or you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. You can also go to dollemore.com and check out all the new merch, the designs, the book, and you can hear about that right here. Many of you are aware that my dear friend and brother of choice, not of blood, Brett McAfee, suffered a near fatal medical emergency last summer while our families were on vacation in Scotland. I appreciate to no end the outpouring of support for Brett that you all gave. And I'm also very happy to report that he is safe and healing and working that long path of recovery. What I've probably not told you about Brett is that beyond being an excellent friend, he's also a talented writer. We have been the best of friends since we were kids, and I have been continually inspired by his creativity and by the truly singular take that he has on life. Over 2 decades ago, he wrote a poem called The Grateful Child. It's an acknowledgement of all the simple strengths that we tend to overlook. Written from the perspective of a young person, multiple grateful children express gratitude to their parents for the elements that make them who they are. The accounting of these everyday gifts inspires a clear reminder that we should not take anything for granted. I've shared Brett's remarkable poem with numerous people over the years, and a reoccurring response is that this should be a book. Well, we finally decided to listen to those people. The Grateful Child is not only a children's book for adults in your life, it's also an adult's book for children in your life. Everyone will appreciate its straightforward yet elegant celebration of life's little endowments. Click the link below to pre-order now, or simply scan this QR code and order your copy or copies today. But this being an illustrated book, we could not survive on the words alone. To pair with Brett's touching words, we searched all over for an illustrator who could bring The Grateful Child to visual life. We landed on somebody right here in the community from this show. Leah Farshid is an internationally acclaimed illustrator who, like you, is also an audience member. The moment we saw the first images that Leah drew to accompany Brett's text, we knew we had a perfect combination. It brings me tremendous joy to share my best friend's beautiful poem and Leah's spectacular images with the world. Everyone can benefit from The Grateful Child, just as I benefit from Brett's lifelong friendship. Share this beautiful book with your children. Share it with your parents or other relatives. The Grateful Child is an easy and exceptional way to show appreciation for someone in your life, young or old. Support someone you love and support this channel by giving The Grateful Child. Click the link below to pre-order now, or simply scan this QR code. I am pretty sure your children need a copy. And your mom, your nieces and your nephews, your Grandpa Charlie too. Don't forget Grandpa Charlie. I think he'd love this. Make The Grateful Child a part of your life. It has been such an excellent part of mine.